What's up, guys? So I know it's been a little bit longer than a week since I did my last video and I asked you guys if you wanted weekly updates. I saw some of you say yes, so I'm gonna still try to do it. Kind of just only around the Dodgers. I don't really care enough to go around the MLB unless it's like big things that happen. Like I'll give you guys kind of the awards update, which I'm sure you guys already know about. So just let me know what you guys want to hear about, talk about, whatever. And then as always, I'll do my best to respond to the comments so that way we can have some type of dialogue and conversation to help us get through this off season. No Dodger stuff today. I actually just got out of physical therapy for my neck/back, so I've got no Dodger stuff on right now. But I found out more about the Fan of the Year award and everything that comes with that. It's going to be at the Beverly Hills Hotel, which I'm super excited about. I could never afford to go to that hotel. So I'm really glad someone else is paying for it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to even go to this event to begin with. But I'm excited about that. I also found out that I'm going to have my own bobblehead. As well as being featured in Sports Illustrated magazine. I believe it's next month's issue. They said December 17th was what they were going for, because that's the Sports Person of the Year magazine, so they kind of want to add me in since that's the award show I'm going to. It's a super cool experience. I'm really happy about it, don't get me wrong, but it's also just a really weird feeling for me. Some people may not believe this because I do a vlog and I'm very outspoken on Twitter, but I actually don't like all attention like this. It's actually not really something I enjoy or want. I mean, it's cool. I'm very happy about it. I appreciate everyone's support, but it's just, for me, it just feels a little weird. I don't ever like to talk myself up or kind of be like, I'm the #1 fan, so knowing I have a bobblehead and going to be in the magazine, it's just a little bit of a uncomfortable feeling for me, especially because I do have, which I'm sure, again, nobody knows, but I do deal with social anxiety, so it's a little bit weird thinking I'll be in a magazine and going to have my own bobblehead. So once I know more about that, I'll let you guys know if you care. If you don't, well, sorry, I did ask to be a part of this competition, but I didn't know it was going to go this far. So, anyways, enough about me. We just had the end of the season, not me, but MLB just had the end of the season awards. It was kind of a weird award season as a Dodger fan because you're so used to seeing so many guys involved in the awards, whether it's Silver Slugger, Gold Glove, at least in the talks, maybe not even finalists, but at least talking about guys that deserve it. Cy Young, and then of course Rookie of the Year. We've done that the past 2 years. This year, unfortunately, Walker Buehler did not win. He came in third. Ronald Acuna from the Braves ended up winning. Of course, as a Dodger fan, I have my bias. I think without Buehler, our season probably turns out a little bit differently, especially with the way he pitched game 163. I know voters can't contribute playoff performance into voting, but I feel like that's sometimes hard to do. And I just feel like Buehler put up a pretty damn good showing in the playoffs. But again, baseball writers are not supposed to use that when it comes to their voting, so I get it. I do understand the why Buehler didn't win, only because he's not an everyday player, and Ronald Acuna was out there pretty much helping lead a Braves team that nobody thought was even going to be ready to make it to the playoffs this year. Everybody knew that the Braves were going to be good coming in the future, and possibly even good this year, but I don't think anyone saw them coming out and winning the division and being in the playoffs this year. I think everyone kind of thought that was at least another year away, at least playing to the standard they did. So I'm not surprised Acuna won. That was kind of my pick from the beginning, taking out of my Dodger bias just because he's everyday. But I think Buehler has one hell of a career in front of him. He's going to be a lot like Kershaw, I think, where every year he has potential to win the Cy Young Award. I can't wait to see what happens next year. But like I said, unfortunately, that was the only Dodger we had in the running for any of the major awards. So it was kind of a weird award season, I think, for Dodger fans. Just like I said, we're used to seeing a little bit more, whether it's Turner for potential, who knows, Silver Slugger, Gold Glove, although I don't think he'll ever win a Gold Glove with Arenado at third base in the NL. He was also hurt, so he may not have even had the chance to be a part of that, but no Kershaw in the Cy Young. But anyways, it's all good. To finish it up, Shohei Ohtani won the American League Rookie of the Year. I'm all good with it. I know some people aren't a fan of it. They wanted Gleyber Torres, I believe. That's his... Is that him? Or no. I think it's Miguel Andujar. I don't know how to say his name. Apologies. But a lot of people thought he was going to win. They thought Torres would come third, Ohtani second, and Andujar, if that's how you say his name. If not, I apologize. But Ohtani won that. Manager of the Year, NL Manager of the Year was Brian Snitker for the Braves. Like I mentioned before about Acuna, nobody really thought, I think they were going to be this good this year. So good for him. I felt like he deserved that. AL Manager of the Year was Bob Melvin from the A's. Totally agree with that. Nobody saw what they were going to do, go out there, win 90-plus games. I think they had the lowest payroll in all of baseball coming into the season, if I remember correctly. Not sure, but either way, I think both those managers deserved winning. No doubt about that. And then the NL Cy Young was, of course, Jacob deGrom. Terrible win-loss record, had nothing to do with him, had to do with his teams. Had, I think, a 1.7 or 0.6 ERA, something just completely insane. So good for him. He deserved that. Wish he could be a Dodger. Would love to have him, but I know there's a lot of people who talk about him in trade talks. Don't think it'll happen. He would cost a lot. Although I did just hear today, MLB Network, that they might be willing to trade Noah Syndergaard. I don't think the Dodgers would go after him, but it's just something interesting to keep in the back of your mind. The AL Cy Young was Blake Snell from the Rays. 100% deserved it. He had a great season too. Guys like that don't tend to stick out. I mean, he stuck out. People knew who he was, but they don't, I feel like a lot of people don't get good looks at guys like that because the Rays aren't playing on national television. They're just not a very good team, so a lot of people don't pay attention to him. But he definitely deserved that. The NL MVP, obviously Christian Yelich, dude, killed it this year. Probably could not have asked for an all-around better player in baseball, at least the NL, because the AL did have Mookie Betts win. And again, it doesn't get much better than him. So, of course, there's Mike Trout. He doesn't have the most help from his teammates. Not that it's on his teammates to win MVP, but he's not always got the best opportunities like Betts does, with whether it's guys in scoring position or just, again, not that national attention matters for these awards, but I just think Mookie had a hell of a year. There wasn't anyone out there, Trout. Same with Yelich. There was really no one, I think, that was going to give them a run for their money. I was kind of on the JD Martinez train for AL MVP, but that, of course, it's hard when he doesn't play defense to give him that award, so I do understand why it went to Mookie Betts, my bad. But just a fun fact, Turner finished 14th in MVP voting, and Max Muncy finished 15th, so that's about our highlight of the awards this year. There was no Gold Glove, no Silver Slugger Dodgers, so that's really it with the awards. Kike and Taylor were off playing. I think it's over now, but the Japan All-Star Game Series, I'm going to be honest, I really didn't watch much of it. I love baseball, but I love the Dodgers. I turned it on for a little bit, but I just don't really care to see other teams playing like I do the Dodgers. And it's kind of nice to have a break from baseball just for right now. I do miss it, but I miss being at the games, not necessarily watching other guys play on TV. Unless it's the Dodgers. If it was the Dodgers, I'd be all over it. But also, about a week ago, the Dodgers gave Utley his unconditional release. So by giving him this, it allows him to officially facilitate his retirement, which means Utley will no longer play baseball, which most of us knew. It's kind of a weird feeling. He's been around baseball pretty much. I mean, I'm 25, so he's been around since I've really been into the sport and watching. I know he was a favorite player of a lot of Dodger fans, even though he came up as a Philly, just coming over and having his leadership that he had, everything with the team. So good luck to him. I do hope to see him around the facility at spring training, if not regular season every now and again. But I also hope he gets that time with his family. Everyone talking about him coming and being a hitting coach, bench coach, whatever the case may be. The guy left baseball because of his family. Let him enjoy that time with his family. Maybe sometime in the future we could see Utley as a manager. But for the time being, congratulations to him. Hope he enjoys his retirement. And like I said, hopefully, I would not be surprised if we see him around spring training or even just the regular season every now and then with his connection with the guys, especially Seager and Kike. So, but on the free agent side of things, kind of trade rumors, nothing really going on yet with the Dodgers. They did, however, it's been a slow start kind of for everyone, although I don't think it's all that slow. I think it's normal kind of timeline. I'm just very impatient and want to see something going on. So, but they handed out 2 qualifying offers, one to Grandal, one to Hyun-Jin Ryu. No, don't get the hiccups. The qualifying offer is good for 1 year at $17.9 million. It does not matter how good of a season or how bad of a season you had. If the team gives you a qualifying offer, you're getting $17.9 million this year if you take it. Grandal turned it down, which means we will get a draft pick for him. It doesn't necessarily mean Grandal will not be a Dodger, but I don't think the guy is coming back. With Will Smith and Kyber Ruiz in the farm and being top prospects at catcher, I can't imagine them wanting to sign long-term catchers. I could see them maybe picking up someone for a year, like a veteran on a 1-year deal to bridge the gap until Ruiz and Will Smith is ready to go. I feel like Will Smith could possibly maybe start the year with the Dodgers. I don't necessarily think so. I think he could come up. Ruiz, I think the earliest we'd see him would be a September call-up, but I guess with the Dodgers, you never know. Look at Bellinger, Buehler. All depends on injuries and what happens. So I don't think Grandal will come back. I think he's a great catcher. I kind of feel like the way his time with the Dodgers went down, it's probably better that he's gone. I think the fans are kind of done with things. I think he's done with our fans. I wouldn't be disappointed if we get him back. There's not going to be a much better hitting catcher in baseball outside of really JT Realmuto and Buster Posey. And Posey can't even catch every day, I think, at this point where he's at in his age and his health. So, good luck to him wherever he goes, as long as it's not an NL West team or a team that knocks us out of the playoffs. We'll see what we do. There's obviously a lot of talk around JT Realmuto from Dodger fans, hoping they'll get him. I have a feeling the Marlins are going to ask for a lot for him, so I don't really think it will happen, but I don't know. I know as much as every other fan out there, and that's usually just an assumption and a guess. I did see something today that apparently the Marlins would want Cody Bellinger on top of another player or two, so I couldn't imagine the Dodgers giving up Bellinger for a 2-year contract, Realmuto. Even though he's fairly inexpensive, I just don't think they'll do it because they don't need him long-term. And to give up someone like Bellinger along with someone else, the name I saw was Puig or Verdugo, just doesn't seem like the smart move when it comes to a 2-year contract kind of guy. So I don't think it'll happen. It'd be awesome if we got Realmuto, but personally I see a veteran coming along. Hyun-Jin Ryu did accept the qualifying offer. I'm super pumped about that. It means we get 1 more year. I think he wants to prove to people, because he could have got a decent contract. He didn't pitch that much this last year, but when he did pretty awesome. I think he wants to prove to people he can stay healthy, and by staying healthy, he can get even a better contract next year. I don't know if he will be with the Dodgers moving forward after this season. I kind of don't see it happening, just because the Dodgers have so many guys coming up and pitchers ready to go, and they're keeping Kershaw. I'm curious to see what happens with Wood. I kind of just don't think there's a spot on this team for him anymore. There's also a lot of rumors going around that they may try to move Wood and Jock. Just because Wood had a rough year, and when you look at our starting rotation, there's just really no room for him, and he's not really someone I want coming out of the bullpen, especially the way we saw him perform. For me, my starting rotation would be Buehler, Kershaw, Ryu, and I add Maeda in there after Ryu because I don't want 1 righty and then 4 straight lefties. But if we would add Maeda, then I would have either Urias or Hill as the 5th guy. Maeda might end up in the bullpen. Hill might end up in the bullpen. Urias might end up in the bullpen. But I know Buehler, Kershaw, and Ryu will at least have a starting rotation spot. The rest will all be kind of interesting to see what the front office does with all of that. Because Urias will be ready to go. Hill and Maeda obviously ready to go. So one of them's going to have to end up in the bullpen. That's why I think Wood won't be around much longer. Just not really the room for him anymore. You got to think about Dennis Santana once he gets healthy. He's supposed to be a pretty damn good pitcher. We got to see him. He was exciting to watch for the 1 or 2 starts he had. But I don't think there's much room left on the team for Wood. Other than that, really not much going on except for the Dodgers just keep kind of losing people. We lost Farhan Zaidi. They lost third base coach Chris Woodward. They lost Turner Ward. They've lost the assistant hitting coach. They've lost the game planning communications coach, and they've lost the head of the analytics department. So front office is kind of all over the place right now. Don't know what's going to happen. They picked up Robert's option but have not extended him yet. They did say that's the goal, yet it still hasn't happened. Kind of weird. I think a lot of it may have to do with the fact that oh man, sorry, I'm blanking. I think a lot of it may have to do with the fact that the front office is all kind of just, and coaching staff is all kind of just dipping out right now. So they're focused on that. They kind of need to get that figured out. They may not hire a GM. They may just work with what they've got and kind of make it a full team thing within the front office, and everybody will just have to do something different. So hopefully they figure out what they're doing there soon so it doesn't cause a distraction with anything else. We've gone back-to-back World Series, and now our coaching staff and front office is falling apart outside of really Friedman and Roberts. Hopefully Bob Guerin is staying. Lombard, so we'll see. Other than that, that's really all I've got. It's 89 more days till pitchers and catchers report to spring training. So I know we're all excited for the season to get started. It'll be here sooner rather than later. Ticket packages are on sale for Camelback Ranch. Individual tickets are not. From what I read, those will be available in January. But if you go to Camelback's website, you can sign up for ticket notifications. Don't quote me on the January thing. I'm not 100% sure, but I do know ticket packages, so mini plans, season tickets, whatever it may be, are available for now. But other than that, I have to go. I'm sorry this was such a long video. Hope it doesn't bother you guys. I've missed talking about baseball, so probably won't be this long every week. Just had a little bit to talk about with all the awards and being a little bit over a week late on this. So I'll try to get a new video out every Friday to kind of talk about what I'm hearing, seeing, and just to converse with you guys. So let me know what you guys want, what you want to hear, and start a conversation below, and I'll get back to you guys, and let's find a way to keep ourselves busy through this off season. So hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll catch you all later.